Today I would like to show you a new way, design automation for everyone with ePlan Cogeneer. My name is Holger Jansen and at ePlan I am the product manager for ePlan Cogeneer and the other automation design software tools we have in our portfolio. We are looking for your feedback during this session, so please don't hesitate to ask your questions inside the live chat. And later on, the rest of the day of this virtual fair, I am available in the chat rooms of this virtual fair presentation online. So ePlan Cogeneer, where does this name come from? ePlan Cogeneer. ePlan Cogeneer combines different worlds. Of course, on the one side, it's the engineering world. On the other side, it's coordination, global combination, global collaboration of teams, because it's a cloud-based software. And all these topics make Cogeneer the core of the future engineering, so we named it Cogeneer. But let's ask the question, what makes Cogeneer so unique for the user? We have clearly defined user roles inside Cogeneer. On the one side, we start with the Cogeneer designer. Inside the Cogeneer designer, the expert user defines the rules definition on which the models are based and on which the results, the schematics, are generated automatically at the end of the day. No programming skills are necessary to define these rules and to describe these models inside the ePlan designer. Information security, very important. In the days of Industry 4.0, the knowledge, the expert knowledge of people now is stored inside an intelligent system, inside intelligent software. This means it doesn't matter what persons are participate in a specific project. The result is always the same quality, because if the experts are not available, their knowledge is available inside the software. The second role is the Cogeneer project builder. In the project builder, it's very easy, based on configuration, based on customer requirements, to define variants, options of a project or of a specific function inside a project. There is no training necessary to do this. Using the project builder inside ePlan Cogeneer is as easy as using a car configurator you know from any vendor in the internet today. It's really for all users. It's not only for the engineers in the engineering department, now also in the sales process. The sales colleagues are able to make a pre-calculation on exact bill of materials, for example, that are generated by at the click of a button. And this is what it's all about in Cogeneer. Let's take a look at the complete workflow from designer to project builder to the design automation. That means that 2D electrical and fluid schematics are generated, as I mentioned, at the push of a button. And we give you a performance promise. We promise, using this working method of ePlan Cogeneer, saves time, saves money, and it will increase the quality of your documentation. How can we prove this performance promise? How can we answer the question, what makes Cogeneer so unique? Cogeneer picks the user up, it joins the user exactly where he stands today, based on his existing template projects, based on his existing macros and macro libraries, and in the newest version, in the Cogeneer Advanced, based on any XML documentation. It is possible to import value sets and data. That means all the information, all the data you have made in the last years or even decades can be used directly now as a base to start design automation with ePlan Cogeneer. What makes Cogeneer so unique? I show you another example. When designing the rules based on, we call it configuration variables, inside the ePlan designer, you can see it on the left side. You don't have to take a look at all the details or understand it in the moment, but just imagine this is the layout of the configuration variables. Now the user interface for the project builder. This user interface for the configurator in the project builder is generated automatically by ePlan Cogeneer. There is no save button, there is no refresh button necessary to press. It's just there. Just switch from the designer into the project builder. And if you make changes into the designer on the left side, these changes have directly effect on the user interface on the right side in the project builder. And without any additional programming and without any programming skills at all, this user interface in the project builder always is up to date for the user in the project builder. You all know the problem. You copy and paste elements in a document, maybe in Word, in Excel, or even in ePlan. And you know you have to make changes after passing the elements. And then you get an email or the phone rings, or you get disturbed by a question of a colleague, and you forget to change maybe a diameter, or you forget to change drive power. And this can have enormous effect on the result. Or even errors that are already in the templates projects or in the macro libraries are copied and pasted again and again and again. With ePlan Cogeneer, you have a different working method. You now see in the user interface of the project builder exactly all the options, all the variants that can be selected, that are possible, that are valid, because you directly access on the expert knowledge that is stored in the model in the designer. Yeah, as I said, it's easy as to use a car configurator. Now you configure single functions, for example, drive controls, or even complete projects with all possible variants and functions. ePlan can be used for all kinds of engineering scenarios. No matter how big your company is, no matter what business you are doing, ePlan Cogeneer is the universal tool inside the ePlan environment to automate your engineering business. Starting with small single functions like drive controls or mini configurators, up to complete projects, you go up a ramp of automation using ePlan Cogeneer, and it will not hold you off doing your daily business, because it's not necessary to think of 100% automation from the first day of using. As I said, start with single functions and then go on step by step inside the direction of automating complete projects in the end. And what it's all about, it's minimizing the manual part of engineering, we call it engineering to order, and maximize the automation part, configure to order. So this was just a brief introduction into this topic, design automation with ePlan Cogeneer. And now let's see if there are any questions inside the chat. So everything is live here, and let's take a look at it. So I don't see any live questions here. Hopefully you will contact me later in the chat room. And yeah, but by the way, let me tell you the most frequently asked questions about Cogeneer. We hear from our users. The first question always we receive is, what are the minimum requirements to use this tool inside ePlan? What ePlan version do we have? The minimum requirements is the ePlan version Select, and of course it has to be always the up-to-date version to start with ePlan. In the moment it's the version ePlan platform 2.7 to start. As I said, minimum requirement is the Select version. So now we got a question. Can Cogeneer automatically numbering page names? The philosophy of Cogeneer is that we do not redesign or that we not recompute any functionality of the ePlan platform. That means you have all the numbering functionalities available inside the ePlan platform. The result of Cogeneer always is a native ePlan project, and afterwards in the platform you have all automatic, all numbering functionalities of ePlan available, not only for the pages, also for the PLC, for the terminals, for cables and so on. The next question, which modules are compatible with ePlan Cogeneer? As I mentioned, it can be used in the minimum version is the ePlan Select, and it can be used for the Pro Panel standalone version, but they are only in the moment for generating 2D schematics and fluid pages. Okay, next interesting question. Does Cogeneer support plug-socket technology? I think we went a better way, because in the models you can define X and Y diameters. You can use them also for calculation, and the second thing to place macros is that we can give relative coordinates to the macro placed before. And the third option is, of course, using the default position of the macro, which is stored in the macro itself. So default position, X, Y coordinates and relative coordinates are possible. So it is not necessary to program a plug on the pages. You have all possibility for complete free macro positioning on the page, which we think is an effort to the more static plug-socket functionality. And now another question we have. Is there enough flexibility for big projects using Cogeneer compared to EEC1, which is more flexible in terms of using required macros? Yes, it's in the midterm. The Cogeneer software will replace the EEC1 software, and of course it's capable to do big projects and with all the necessity in performance and functionality regarding EEC1. Okay, so thank you very much for these questions, and if you have any further questions, as I said, please contact me in the chat afterwards. Another information I want to give you, we have 4 live demonstrations of Cogeneer. The first one will start, I think, directly after this presentation. Please take a look at the agenda for software live demonstrations, and I will also join the chat in these presentations, in these live presentations. So hopefully we'll meet again later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.